What's going on, my fellow Hoosiers, Midwesterners, and general beer lovers? Welcome to another episode of Cloudless and Indy. I'm Cloudless, and fortunately for you, it's another beer review. Run the new intro. Alright, so before we get started, I just want to give a special shout out to my very first sponsor, Jared B. of Indianapolis, for supplying this week's beer review. He's a good friend, and he's a fellow beer geek like myself. And so I want to say thank you for supporting the channel, supporting the dream, and supporting the great breweries of the state of Indiana. So, now with that out of the way, let's get on to the beer. Puppy Kisses Raspberry Berliner Weisse by Fountain Square Brewing in Indianapolis, Indiana. Yeah, look at that can there. Look at that can. I'm just going to spin it around for you there. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to also show you exactly where it is. Fountain Square Brewing is, I believe, in South Indianapolis. You could probably say roughly southeast Indianapolis in an area called Fountain Square. I'm really excited to try this beer, mainly because I've made already 2 videos of Fountain Square Brewing, which apparently has been getting quite a bit of views, which I'm very happy about and also kind of surprised about, but also at the same time not surprised, because I think I'm one of the few people besides the Indy Star and maybe the Indianapolis Business Journal who's even covering it. And with that being said, there hasn't been really that much news other than their doors are still closed. And I currently haven't seen, at least I don't remember when they're planning on opening their doors up again. But the closure is temporary. But this video is not about that. This video is about the beer. So, a Berliner Weisse. Right. I actually had to do a refresher on what a Berliner Weisse was. Obviously, it's a Weiss beer or a wheat beer. And I decided to pull some links from BeerAdvocate.com as well as Wikipedia. But from the BeerAdvocate.com, Berliner Weisse, according to them, is a low in alcohol, refreshingly tart, and often served with a flavored syrup like woodruff or raspberry. The Berliner style Weisse presents a harmony between yeast and lactic acid. These beers are very pale in color and may be cloudy as they are often unfiltered. Hops are not a feature of this style, but these beers often do showcase esters. So I am not going to read the entire thing. Obviously, if you like, you can pause the video and read the article for yourself. But one thing I did want to note, though, is that the Berliner Weisse article states that the ABV would range between 2.8% to 3.4%, while Wikipedia, which classifies it as a sour beer, is around 5%. Says that it's around 5%. And with that being said, it's actually kind of funny, right? Because obviously I see Berliner Weisse and I say, oh, that must be a wheat beer, okay, but then you see the raspberry part, and then automatically I start thinking, oh, it must be a sour. So maybe it's a sour wheat beer, maybe. Unfortunately, the can does not give much information about it. Besides, it just says it's a tart raspberry aromas give way to a smooth and light body, followed by a clean and effervescent finish. That's all the information, unfortunately, that we get on the can. Now, I decided to actually go... Let me bring you to the website. And we're here at FountainsquareBeer.com. And unfortunately, when you go to beer, this is what we get. We get 4 beers. Right. Unfortunately, there's not a lot really going on their website. Let's see, what if we went to On Tap here? Yeah, so, which I believe, like, if you've seen my brewery news, Indiana Brewery news, Fountain Square, it was either part 1 or part 2, I'm not 100% sure, but I did mention that there wasn't a lot, the website wasn't updated. You know, look right here. The last update as far as their On Tap list is October of 2021. Wow. Okay, if anyone knows what's the deal with that, you know, let me know down in the comments or let me know on Facebook. Just facebook.com /Kladless in Indy. Let's see though if we can find something on the seasonals. It's pretty much the same thing, but I pretty much just Googled it, and this is where I found it. It's just under seasonals. Puppy Kisses, Raspberry Berliner Weisse. Apparently comes in a 4-pack. Also, I saw that on Untapped.com, people are still able to get this beer. I mean, Jared B of Indianapolis, he got this beer for me. And so it seems that the beer is still available in stores, and other breweries or brew pubs are still selling the beer as well on draft. So you can still get this, beer. Anyways, with that out of the way, now it is time to open up the beer, right? And as usual, we'll be using our 14-ounce goblet, or chalice, well, goblet, pretty much, by St. Joseph's Brewery. No, I am not sponsored, okay? Would the sponsorship be cool by St. Joseph's Brewery? I most likely would not say no, okay? But as far as I'm aware, as I've said in all my videos, well, most of my videos, is that if another brewery came up with a 14-ounce goblet, I'll buy it. Uh-oh. I did. Wow. Okay, here we go. Let's pour this. Ooh. I think I might have accidentally shaken it up. But look at that. Look at that color there. Look at that color. Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that right there. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, it is definitely as described in the Beer Advocate article there, or definition of a Berliner Weisse. It is very unfiltered, very hazy, not very transparent. You can definitely smell the raspberry on the nose. And that's pretty much really what I'm getting. So let's oh wow. You can almost hear the carbonation, I mean, from the head like dissolving. I'm not sure if yes, okay, you know what? I should have read the rest of the article. At least as far as this video goes. But if you had read the article yourself, according to the BeerAdvocate.com article, carbonation is very high, adding to the refreshment factor this style delivers. Many examples of this style contains no hops and thus no bitterness at all. So that makes sense why I could literally hear the carbonation as the head was dissolving. All right, let's get into. Oh wow. I almost wanted to say that the hue of the beer actually started changing, almost from, I want to say maybe like an orangey, like a deep orangey to, I don't even know. I want to say it's almost taken maybe a pinkish hue. There's something going on with this beer here, but let's just get into the drinking of it. Let's go. Ooh, hello. That is very savory. Like, my mouth literally started watering when I drank that. Wow. Hold on. So, like I said, the carbonation is very high, and thus it's carbonating in the mouth, almost like you're drinking a soda, kind of, you know. But here's the thing. So you're getting the raspberry on the nose, and you're getting that carbonation, I want to say, on the front of the tongue, and then the raspberry / wheat part, because obviously this is a wheat beer. Or, I mean, sure, you could say it's like in between a wheat and a sour. And you're getting that, you notice that, you would notice that right away on the top of the tongue, right? But on the back end, on the other hand, there's not really much of a finish. I want to say it almost dissipates like right away, before it even gets to the back end. Yeah, not much of a finish at all. But like I said, it's very refreshing. It almost feels like I'm drinking water. Which is interesting, which is stay with me here, stay with me, okay? So I guess, like, obviously when I first poured it, it was very, you know, carbonaty. Is that even a word? The carbonation was very high, but I guess as it's starting to like settle and maybe warm up, you know, the carbonation is going away a little bit. I mean, it's there, sure, but I want to say not as much as it was when I first poured it. And if you're wondering, Christian, why didn't you use your thermometer this time? You know, well, this actually, I know. So this is probably going to be the coldest I've drank a beer on this channel. I did just pull this out of the fridge. Well, not just pulled it out of the fridge, but currently it's at 56. On average, I've been drinking my beers at around between 60, 61. So there may be a potential I'm not necessarily getting all the flavors because it's so cold, but I would have to say that this is a delicious beer, right? I don't know if I would. I'm not 100% sure if I would. I guess I would have to be in the mood for it, really. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. I would have to be in the mood for it. I'm also curious how it would be if it was a little warmer. You know, it almost looks like, I'm not even sure if you can pick that up on the camera, but I know before I think I said there was another beer that I said almost reminded me of maybe like grapefruit juice, and I put like some laughing emojis. But this, hands down, actually looks ruby. It actually looks like grapefruit juice. Okay. Come on. Does it not? Does it not? And I'm pretty sure that my color in this video isn't that bad. Okay. But I tell you what, even though it looks like grapefruit juice, obviously you are getting, well, not obviously, but you are getting the tart as described in the description on the can. And the body is very light. I mean, very light. As I said before, I mean, it almost feels like you're drinking maybe carbonated water, lightly carbonated water, rather lightly carbonated flavored water. Okay, that's kind of what this reminds me of. Anyways, this video is starting to get a little too long, but I just want to read this real fast since this is my first Fountain Square Brewing Company review for life's greatest moments, which I don't think is a bad slogan. Yeah, so I hope to review some more of Fountain Square Brewing beers. I hope to review some more of their beers. And if some of you didn't know, well, I mean, unless you've watched my Indiana Brewery news videos, the Working Men's Pilsner was the very first Fountain Square Brewing beer I've ever had, and it was also the very first Indiana craft beer I've ever had. You know, so I'm looking forward to reviewing some more of their beers. And once again, I want to thank Jared B. of Indianapolis for supplying the beer for this week's beer review. That being said, I'm Kladless, and this is Klaudless in Indy, reviewing Puppy Kisses Raspberry Berliner Weisse by Fountain Square Brewing in Fountain Square, Indianapolis. And if you like this video, like, subscribe, follow me on facebook.com /Klaudless in Indy. You can support me on my Patreon at patreon.com /Klaudless in Indy, as well as buymeacoffee.com /Klaudless media. And to end everything, Prost, Prost, Salut, Slancha, cheers, and peace.